I want to start off just by, acknowledging Coach Wilkerson and Eastern Illinois. Really well-coached football team. Gave us a handful throughout 4 quarters, played really hard with great fundamentals. The direction that program's going on is impressive to watch. Probably the way that our guys, prepared and stayed the course tonight. Something I told our team is we're not chasing style points. We never said coming into this game that it was going to be easy. I was proud of the way that our guys closed out the first half. The way that our defense responded to some adversity in the first half. The way that our offense stayed the course and caught some rhythm at the end of the half, carried into the fourth quarter, and really fun to see what this group has the potential of becoming when you're balanced on the offensive side of the ball, efficient both in the run game and in the passing game, getting a lot of people involved in the passing game, and we're playing well in all three phases. So we know that there's going to be things from this film that we're going to have to continue to improve. We're going to have to continue to take one day at a time. Got an awesome challenge in front of us with Washington on the road, first Big Ten opponent coming up. But we'll go through our process. We'll evaluate the film tomorrow. We'll clean it up as a staff. We'll come in on Monday, discuss Eastern Illinois Monday morning and Monday night, get into Washington prep, which, we know what type of challenge is ahead of us.
Jack had a really solid stat line by the end, but had a really rocky start. Everything seemed to click in that first half 2-minute drill, completed 16 of his last 18. Did you think the urgency kind of forced him to settle down? Was that a change in scheme, conversation with you or Coach Lujan? What changed for him there?
Yeah, you know what? I think you just saw in the first half a first-time starter, just a little amped up, maybe, aiming the ball a little bit. You see him coming up short on some throws that he typically is spot on with. I think that 2-minute drill kind of allowed Jack to get into a rhythm, not just be reacting, trusting his instincts, and really excited to see the way that rhythm carried over into the second half, and really excited the way that we were able to distribute the ball and spread it out today as well.
Overall, how would you evaluate how Jack played tonight?
Yeah, it'll be fun to go back and watch the film, but even early in the first half, there's a throw to Marshall Lang, and it doesn't result in a completion, but it's on time, in a tight window, trusting his reads. You just saw some confident throws, which was really exciting to see. Excited about some of the things that we're able to do within the run game. I think that's something we're going to continue to have to manage, though. We don't want to be someone that's primarily, involved with quarterback run. It can be a good mix-up. But for us to finish off that last drive with the touchdown to Marshall Lang, I think Jack's play just continued to elevate as the night went along.
Coach, what does it say about Jack's character that he was able to turn around his performance in the fashion that we saw tonight?
Yeah, I think he's a young man, not to sound cliche, but that really trusts himself, that trusts the process, that trusts his teammates around him, and is unfazed by what's going on around him. I think that, comes back to a sense of self-confidence, not ego, not false confidence, true self-confidence because of his preparation. The way that the guys responded around him and supported him, making some big-time catches was fun to see. The young man stayed ready. He got news back in August that he didn't want to hear, but he just continued to plug away, continued to improve. And I want to give Mike Wright a lot of credit, too. Mike Wright this week continued to prepare, to stay ready, had a great week of practice. I'm on the sideline with him before that first completion to AJ. He's locked in. He knows what play's coming. He's like, Coach, we got him here. We got him. Turns into a big explosive play, really engaged on the sideline. Those are the things as a coach that you get that you're really proud of. Performance, that's one thing, but when you got guys that are truly checking themselves at the door and celebrating their teammates' success, you got something special going.
Coach, you said on Monday that what you've seen from Jack Lausch that you've really appreciated is his decision-making. What decision-making did you see from him that stood out to you tonight?
I thought there was some confident decision-making. I thought there was a couple throwaways that were really intelligent. He pushes one down to Marshall on a scramble there, I believe it was in the first half, but it's on the sideline. It's not back across his body. There's another one in the second half where you'd like to see him throw it away. It goes from what should have been 2nd and 10 to 2nd and 15, so can continue to clean things up. But I thought he was decisive, confident, and did a great job of valuing the football.
Coach, you talk about complimentary football all the time. Najee Story's blocked kick toward the end of the first half. How big was that in terms of swinging the momentum back towards you guys?
It's huge. It's absolutely huge. You know, if there's one area that I was really disappointed with in the first half was our protection on our field goal attempt that resulted in their blocking one of our field goals. But our defense bowed up. We talk all the time about threes won't get us beat. And something that's really neat about that block is the fact that that is a result of maximum effort by all those guys on all those reps. I think one thing, when you turn on the film and you watch our guys in those scenarios in PAT field goal, you see maximum effort. You saw it with Theron Johnson last week on that last field goal by Duke. He didn't end up blocking it, but incredible effort. And when you continue to show up with that type of effort and intent, those blocks are going to show up. It was absolutely critical to the momentum at the back end of the half for sure.
Sure, Coach, building on that, I mean, the other side of the football today, too, you get a pick. You've got some pretty good D going on. How impressed are you, or how happy are you with how that's coming together?
You know, I'm really proud of, I'll start off with our players, their buy-in to what's going on that side of the ball, followed up with the leadership from Tim McGargle, Harlan Barnett, DJ Vokalek, Christian Smith, LaMarcus Hicks, the rest of that staff. I mean, I would challenge anyone in the country to come and sit in one of our defensive staff meetings. The intelligence in that room, the ability to check their ego at the door and collaborate, it continues to just improve and show up on the field. For us to create a takeaway, 4th down stops, some 3-and-outs, which really can help an offense start to wear an opponent down. Those are the things got to be trademarks of this defense.
Again, it's a good game from Jack, but it's still an FCS opponent. How much do you see this translating into the conference schedule?
Yeah. Man, I take offense to an FCS opponent, but no, I understand what you're saying. He, at the end of the day, the rhythm, the confidence, the ability to come out in the second half when things weren't easy in the first half are things that are really encouraging. We understand what's ahead of us. I mean, we're going to have to play 4 quarters, complementary football, winning tight games, winning the margins. But I think you saw some things out of Jack today that are certainly reason for a lot of optimism moving forward.
On the coaching side, same deal with Coach Lujan as a play caller. Do you see this as a breakthrough, something that continue to be sustained?
It's one of those things that it's really easy based on the outcome to ride this wave of what I will say unwavering is I believe in Coach Lujan. I believe in Coach McGargle, Coach Creighton. I honestly feel like we have the best staff in the country. And what I mean by that is, yes, very talented, very intelligent, but the group that we get to work with every day, regardless of the outcome, Zach Lujan is someone that I fully believe in.
So, in non-conference play 2-1, I mean, going into Washington next week, how close do you feel like you are to where you want to be going into competing in the Big Ten?
Yeah, no, I mean, we got a long way to go. But again, I think that needs to be a trademark of who we are, is never being satisfied where we're at, continuing to improve each week. And something that we will embrace and bring on the competition. Whether it's a Big Ten opponent, an SEC opponent, don't care. That is something that we're going to embrace and attack. But there's no doubt that the margins become much tighter when you get into Big Ten play, and that's what makes this opportunity moving forward so stinking exciting.
Couple more, Asher.
Can you talk about the defensive line's effort, especially without Anto Saka and Carmont Baston holding Eastern Illinois to 40 yards?
Yeah. I think it just speaks to the depth in that room. It's fun to talk about Carmine and Anto and Kenny coming down as a pass rusher and some of the things that these individual guys can do. But, the best defenses that I've been around, that I've been, fortunate to be a part of, they were trademarked by being very disruptive with the D-line and playing with a ton of depth, which leads to continued growth throughout the season. Tyler Gant, Dylan Roberts, just some of these young guys that are getting in there. Michael Kilbane, he's in his second year. You'd think that guy had been playing 5 years of Big Ten football. It's exciting to see. We got to continue to build off of it. Excited to see Brendan Flakes back out there tonight. But that depth has to be a trademark of ours for sure.
And then turning from the defensive line to the offensive line, 203 rushing yards for you guys on almost 6 yards a carry. What can you say about how the guys up front played tonight?
They're playing really hard. And the thing that I kept telling them throughout the course of the first half is keep out finishing your opponent. I challenged them to have more urgency out of the huddle and stress our opponent in that sense, but our guys are finishing, and that has to be our identity. I challenge our team every single week. We want to be the most physical team on that field every single Saturday or Friday, whatever it may be. But I thought our O-line from start to finish was doing a great job of finishing.
Anto Saka was unexpectedly out for this game. Will he be back for Washington?
I expect Anto being back. He was a game time decision tonight, and I'm very hopeful that we'll see him here this coming week. Thanks everyone.
For Joseph, what was your thought process on the big run at the end of the first half? Kind of started the run that won you guys the game.
My mentality every time I'm in there, I'm just trying to score a touchdown. That's my mentality. That's been my mentality ever since I started playing the game. And it's just a credit to my O-line and to my receivers blocking. They did a wonderful job, getting me through the holes. And CJ, Calvin Johnson, cracked the safety and what made the touchdown block. So that was good.
When you look at the rushing attack, over 200 yards on the ground, what was working for you guys tonight, and when did things really kind of start to click in the second half?
I think really just committing to our identity as running the football. Once we do that and commit to running it, it opens up lanes for us, and we could just ground and pound teams, and it makes them tired. And once we do that, we rolling.
For Devin, what was it like to holding another team under 2 touchdowns in a game again? What has been the standard for the defense this season?
Our mentality is to dominate everybody we go against, whether that's in the run game and as well as the pass game. So being able to just hold teams like that, that's just the testament to our mentality and the testament to our coaches really getting us ready throughout the week, but giving us a bunch of looks that we could possibly get. So really just having us ready, having our cleats in the ground and ready to play and playing fast.
Devin, what did you see on that play that allowed you to get that interception?
So the covers that we were in allowed me, so we're just all vision on the quarterback. So just seeing the quarterback looking and then helping out my mic with that throw, and then it just fell right into my arms.
Devin, you talked about defensive domination. This is now the 3rd straight game that the secondary's picked up an interception. What can you say about your unit and how good you guys have become at talking the ball?
It's really because of our coaches, with our defensive coaches, especially our secondary coaches, man, they just really get us ready, really have us prepping in the film, and just giving us a whole bunch of looks throughout the week. I would say that's really helping us out, really helping us play fast, so we're not really thinking, we're just out there just playing.
For Joseph, how different did the game feel with Jack at quarterback compared to Mike?
It didn't really feel that different. Both of these guys are leaders on and off the field. So it's really just the next guy up. Jackie's a wonderful guy. He's been my roommate ever since we got here, so I just love that guy. But just him bringing that energy into the game, it was good for him.
Joseph, that was your first touchdown in over a year since that UTEP game. How rewarding was it when you finally got in the end zone?
Very rewarding, actually. It's something I've been working for the past 8 months, something I come in and work for every day. But like I said, it's just a credit to my O-line, a credit to the receivers out there blocking for me. They're the reason why I was in the end zone.
Joe, you talked about the offensive line. You guys had 200 yards on the ground tonight. What can you say about how well the guys in the trenches have been playing lately?
It's just a testament on them and how they come in and work each day. They come in, work, prepare, and we grind and practice, and it definitely shows up in the game. So it's just a credit to those guys, and I just love to see it.
Devin, when you look at, obviously, Washington's next week, the Big Ten play starts. Where's the defense confidence now? Where's the level at and confidence-wise of the defense as you go to a place where it's going to be a hostile environment, where it's going to be tuned up just a little bit more?
Or really we're just going to try to keep the same mindset as dominate everybody we're going against, whether we're going against a low-level team or a high-level team, and getting into Big Ten play, we're just going to keep going into the same mentality, we're going to go into that game with the 24-hour rule where, we just got done winning here, we're going to celebrate it now, but when it comes in to time for game week, that win is out the door. Now we're focused on Washington, focused on the next week and the next week.
Anything else for you guys? Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Be sure to direct your questions, either Jack or AJ or both. Chris?
Jack, just how did it feel out there your first start like that?
It was awesome. It was so much fun to go out and just compete with my teammates. I've put a lot of great work in with these guys for a while, and it's been just to go out and have fun with those guys and get a win and find some production that second half was awesome, man. Like these guys are awesome. They played great, and I'm just happy. I'm excited, and I'm excited to keep building.
Jack, obviously a little bit of a rocky start, but you seem to figure it out near that end of the 2-minute drill at halftime. What did you start seeing that enabled you to really find your groove?
I think the biggest thing was just taking a breath, slowing down my feet, and just trusting my reads downfield. I think early my feet were a little crazy. I had guys open, I was kind of passing up. I think really just taking a breath. I think that 2-minute drive helped a lot. Getting in tempo, playing fast. These guys did a great job downfield, getting open. So I think really just getting into a groove was huge, and that 2-minute drive was huge for that.
AJ, you're the first Northwestern receiver to eclipse 100 yards since Cam Johnson's 124-yard game against Illinois last November. What do you see working for you out there tonight, and how you look to build on this performance moving forward in the Big Ten play?
I think just trusting the game plan, trusting everything that the work that we put in, and the connection that we built. At any given game, it can be anybody in that receiver room who has a big game and who comes out and has a dominant performance, and it just so happened to be me tonight. So, trusting in my coaching and trusting in my preparation led to my performance today.
Jack, you second half you didn't miss. You went 10 for 10. What was clicking, and once you started going, what allowed you to keep going? I know you kind of mentioned your feet, but was it just kind of a little bit more chemistry? Was it kind of just trust? What was it?
Yeah, I think first thing just kind of settled into the game. First start, I think the more experience you get better every single play. I really credit to these guys for sticking with me and for continuing to bust their tail every play and play as hard as I can. To the defense for doing what they do. That's a really good defense. I think just trusting the reads, and just getting to my second, third read was huge because, Coach Lujan does a great job of scheming those guys open. And I think just like AJ said, trusting the game plan and trusting him.
AJ, last week you had 8 catches, 52 yards. 49 of them were after the catch. This week, 7 catches for 117 yards, 85 of them after the catch. But more importantly, you're getting the ball a little bit deeper down the field. Last week, you had about 6 catches at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage. But this week, you're getting the ball down the field. You had a 45-yard catch, a 46-yard catch. Was there any difference in game planning from your perspective about how to get you deeper down the field?
I don't think it was necessarily like that being a focus, but I think, as an offense, we pride ourselves on making explosive plays, and something as a receiver room that we do is talk about making the touchdown, like the home run, making somebody miss, making defenders miss in space. We do a lot of run after catch drills and practice and things of that nature. So, when the opportunity presents itself, we want to put good things on tape and, make the play, get the yak after the catch.
AJ, you caught every ball thrown to you tonight. Do you feel a different type of chemistry with Jack throwing you the ball?
I think we built a strong chemistry throughout, my time being here. Seeing him grow as a leader and as a player has been great, and it's something we can definitely continue to build upon.
For Jack, your touchdown to AJ was the first passing touchdown for Northwestern this season. That feel like an icebreaker for you and Coach Lujan? Kind of a little bit of release there?
Yeah, I think just nothing more than just, kind of settled into this game. I think if you get the ball in the end zone, regardless of how it happens, everyone on the offense is happy, So, that was a great feeling. It was great to, reward these receivers for, playing hard every play. But yeah, it was great to get a passing touchdown, get one to Marshall too. He did a great job. But I think overall, just settling into this game was important.
AJ, when you see Jack start to cook in the second half, what's the mentality like? What's it like kind of watching him settle in and kind of start cooking with the offense?
I think the whole offense just kind of gain momentum, gain confidence, and, had a mentality. Coming out of halftime, we had a mentality of, that last drive that we had, the 2 minute before the half, and, we built some momentum, and coming out of half, we had them right where we wanted them, and, things started clicking, and, it was more so about doing what we had to do and not focusing on the defensive side, and, I felt like things that didn't go our way in the first half were things that were up to us. So, executing at a high level and doing the things that we know we can do as an offense was key to us continuing the momentum and putting up points in the second half.
AJ, you had success with a lot of different routes today, whether it was slants, digs, deep corner routes. How important do you think it is to have a variety in your route tree that you can get open basically anywhere on the field?
I think it's very important, being versatile as a wide receiver. You never want to put yourself in a box. Coach Benz does a good job of, us repping, all positions on the field. One day I might be outside, I might be inside, I might be to the boundary, might be to the field. So, you got to be ready at all times to run any route and get open and create separation. And that's the name of the game, creating separation and making the play when it comes to you. So, as a receiver, that's something I pride myself in. And, the quarterback delivering the ball to us is just a plus.
Jack, what were the emotions like for you tonight, making your first start at QB with all the local community support that came with it?
I mean, it was awesome. Thank you to, family, friends, people from home coming out. I mean, that's an unbelievable feeling, knowing that you have support, from not only them, but from my teammates, from my coaches, from people in the building. It was a great feeling. I was really excited. I was really happy, and I was just ready to go compete with these guys. And I was just happy to start a football game. So.
A few more. Matt.
Big touchdown at the end of the first half went to Joe Hyman. He said you guys are roommates.
Yep.
What's that bond like, and what was it like to see him take the lead for you guys?
Yeah, Joe's been. I mean, he's one of my best friends here. Room together freshman year, sophomore year. We stay in the hotel together for game nights. I mean, he is a stud. He's a great player, really explosive. I mean, that was a big time play from him when he really needed to, produce for this team. So we're really excited to continue to find ways to get him the football because he's a game changer and he's a great dude too. So.
This is for both you guys. Jack, I'd like to start first. How close do you think you guys are to where you need to be to start Big Ten play with Washington coming up next?
I think, the great part about football is there's always something to get better at. I think we're just going to approach it with, a 1-0 mindset every day. What can we do to get better? We're not really concerned about opponents. Like, you respect opponents, you see what they're about, and you compete. But, we're all about, trying to get better ourselves. So, I think just finding ways to do that every day, and I think we'll put ourselves in the best position possible, come Big Ten play this week.
Just going off of what Jack said, just us as a team, we look at it as, be the best version of yourself. Continue to find ways to get better and grow as a person, as a player, when you're in the building, when you're out the building, and, the rest will take care of itself. I feel like if we execute the way we need to as an offense and continue to grow and continue to do the little things right, we'll be in a good spot.
Jack, how do you feel now that you've gotten your first career start out of the way and now you're about to take on Big Ten opponents?
I feel awesome. I'm excited. You grow up watching Big Ten football, dreaming about being on the stage, and I'm excited. I'm really excited to, enjoy this win, but then get in the building, and I'm excited to get better, find ways to get better, find ways for this team to get better. Because Washington's a great team coming up, but it's a lot of excitement. Big Ten plays. That's why you come to the Big Ten. So I'm really excited about it.
Two more. Jake, then Brendan.
This is for either of you. How key was the defense's performance tonight, especially as you guys were still finding your footing offensively in that first half?
Yeah, I mean, it was huge. They kept us in it. When we were still looking to find things getting rolling. I mean, those guys are unbelievable. I mean, I think you've seen the first 3 games. Those guys are lights out. They play really hard, play really well. It was awesome. Coach Braun talks all the time about complementary football. We help them, they help us. And it was huge. I mean, that's what a team's all about, man. So.
Last question. Brendan?
Jack, 7 carries for you for 62 yards today. What were you seeing from the defense that made it so easy for you to find success with your legs?
I think Coach Lujan did a great job of scheming plays to get me in space. I think the backs did a really good job with our read stuff and trusting me when I was pulling the ball. And, I mean, obviously the guys up front, they make that happen. So I think it just comes down to Coach Lujan, comes down to, the receivers blocking on the edge and, those guys up front, they make it happen. So it was good. It was good to get loose a little bit and run around. So that was fun.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.